Hi, my name's Steve and welcome to the Seaside Allotment channel. I'm just taking a break from some back-breaking work moving compost around, and so I thought, yeah, I'll have a rest and I'll talk about all the labels that as gardeners we throw around. And lots of times I throw those labels around as well: no dig, organic, biodynamic, high intensity, square foot gardening, you know, all that sort of thing, self-sufficiency and all of that. And I don't like these labels. I don't like the idea that I'm constraining myself to garden in a particular prescribed way. I think that all gardening techniques, you know, or pretty much all these gardening techniques that have grown up over decades, generations, hundreds of years sometimes, they've all got some value. And oh god, insect crawling in my face. Yeah, they've all got some value, and they've all got some downsides. And I prefer to think of myself as a pragmatic gardener, perhaps. And I'm often fond of saying that I like the 80-20% approach. And what that means is that I like to put in the 20% of effort that gives me the 80% of the results, and then move on to something else. I don't like then to do the other 80% of effort that gives you the other 20% of the results. And I guess that's probably typified by the person who's gardening for show. You've got to put such a lot of effort in to get veg that serves show quality. And obviously that's great fun for some people. But you know, I'm not that person that wants to put all that extra effort in for just that little extra bit of result. I'm pretty happy with carrots that have a kink in them. I'm happy with cauliflowers that have gone slightly over and started to break apart a little bit. I'm happy with cauliflowers that have got a little bit of pink bloom on them. You know, I'm even happy with broccoli that's just starting to flower. They're fine with me, no problem at all. And it's the same with all the things. I like to put down a compost mulch, but I'm perfectly happy to dig out roots when they're in the way of the crop that I want to follow. I don't like using pesticides, but I will use pesticides on my apple trees against codling moth because I just can't, I don't want to lose 80% of my harvest. I hate the idea of putting glyphosate anywhere near edibles, but I will use it just on the boundaries of the plot underneath the hedges to get the ground elder out or the bindweed. So, you know, I'm just pragmatic, and it makes my life a heck of a lot easier. And I do like to grow pesticide-free food, and I don't like to use artificial fertilizers, but occasionally in pots, for example, I will use an artificial fertilizer because I just can't get enough organic goodness into that small area of soil that's in the pot. But I don't source organic horse manure, and I don't source true organic poultry pellets, for example, from chickens that are reared organically. The spent mushroom compost that I get hasn't come from organic mushroom farms. So it is an organic ingredient. It's pesticide free to some extent, but I mean, pesticides might have been used in previous generations of the life cycle of that compost. So, you know, there we go. I mean, I like wood chips, but who knows whether those wood chips have been, you know, the source of those, you know, somebody's garden might have been sprayed with pesticides, or inorganic fertilizers might have been used further down in the life cycle. But it's enough for me. I'm close enough to being organic, so I don't like the label organic. You know, I prefer to say pesticide free, or that I don't use inorganic fertilizers. And so just be a bit more prescriptive. But I do sometimes just throw those terms around because it's just easy to use. And it's the same with intensity. You know, sometimes I like doing high intensity with lots of intercropping, and sometimes it's just a real pain because it's hard to get the timings right. So the intercrop isn't ready for harvest, but the main crop is, and so you can't properly clear the bed and recondition it and remulch it and plant the next crop because you've got the interplant still sitting there, waiting to be harvested. So sometimes it's not a great idea to do that, and sometimes it's just easier to have a monocrop that you can just clear the whole bed at the same time. And sometimes I think plants just grow better or easier where you're not doing high intensity, and sometimes high intensity is the perfect thing to do. Square foot gardening, sometimes it's just too much hassle to have so much stuff crammed into such a small space. It makes harvesting so difficult and time consuming, and it's just nicer to space things out so you can actually get easy access to, for example, the lettuces, to pick around the base and pick one leaf at a time rather than harvest whole heads. And it's just so much easier to do that than it is if you've got too much crammed in and you just can't get access to the lower leaves to pick them out, and you're just damaging things all the time as you're picking. So anyway, I'm just really seeking an opportunity to have a rest and make a video at the same time. But what's your approach? Do you subscribe to a particular philosophy and follow that philosophy all the way through to the end? Or do you think it's just easier to be just pragmatic and follow the 80-20 rule? The only exception, perhaps, although I'm still not completely prescriptive about this, is I do like to be self-sufficient in veg, and I would love to be self-sufficient in fruit, but there's no chance of that. We love our fruit too much. But I like that, and it's just because of the psychological benefit that comes from saying to yourself, I'm only going to eat what I grow. But of course I go to a restaurant and I'm not eating what I grow, and very occasionally we will buy stuff and I don't care. It's only a game. It's a self-sufficiency game. It's not a massively important part of my lifestyle. So there we go. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon.